Peaking on race day is something all successful trainers must learn.
Don't want to peak too early.
In the spring of 2007, Doug O'Neill had a serious case of Derby fever, even though he had lost Merv Griffin's Stevie Wonderboy, the Kentucky Derby favorite, to an injury earlier that winter. Later that spring, O'Neill returned to St. Monica's High School just a week away from the first Saturday in May with his best friend, Mark Verge. It was here where O'Neill first started dreaming of winning America's most famous race.
He's got horses going for the Kentucky Derby, so they're doing like kind of a follow-up to how he made it.
That's where I learned how to train horses at St. Monica's.
Graduated from St. Monica 1984.
86.
He's a big horse trainer.
If they could have a Kentucky Derby winning trainer, that would be a much better school. So not to put much pressure on Doug.
I agree with that. I agree.
I'll have another. It's closing in. Here's the wire. I'll have another. Has won the Kentucky Derby.
You know, it's one of those things you wish you could bottle it up and just take a sip every day, because it was such a huge rush and just such a great feeling. We were just all chest pumping and going nuts.
For O'Neill, the pumped-out chest started well before the victory. He talked and acted like an extremely confident trainer who was certain that he had the best horse in the Derby.
Yeah, no, I know. That kind of shocked me too. I had to kind of pinch myself a little bit, or check myself, I should say, that to not sound cocky, but he's a special colt. And you know, his last few gallops prior to the Derby were just out of this world. And you know, I just felt really, really confident. I know how he is mentally, and that 165,000 people wasn't going to rattle him like it does the average horse. You know, it's really just a matter of you know, where the racing god's going to look over us and get a good trip, and they sure were. And Mario just rode a brilliant race and a real trouble-free race.
Surprisingly, it was the media that made O'Neill doubt himself the most.
You know, I got a lot of pressure from some media people saying, you got to work over the track, you got to work over the track, and you know, I just kept to my guns. That's where my brother Dennis is great, because I can bounce things off him. Paul Redham's great. You know, do what you think is in the best interest of your colt.
I'll Have Another will now be expected to race on only 14 days rest, 14 days shorter than he's ever had to endure.
Yeah, I talked to Hall of Fame trainer Jack Van Berg yesterday, and he advised me don't breeze the colt, you know, just gallop him in, which was what I was hoping to do.
Many will wonder if I'll Have Another will bounce or regress in his next start based off his big effort in the Kentucky Derby. O'Neill, a Sheets guy, believes his horse will shine once again in the Preakness.
I've got a preliminary number that said he equaled his Bob Lewis effort. So he ran huge in a Bob Lewis off 5 months layoff. He regressed a little bit in winning the Sandia Derby, and then he came back to his number. The way I read that pattern, he's going to move forward. I think we have a colt that can run a couple more races in 5 weeks and still be tough.